The number of refugees attempting to get into European countries has increased significantly over the past 12 months. Humanitarian agencies say conflicts and economic conditions are the main causes of forced displacement worldwide.
The conflicts and instability we're seeing in South Sudan, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and a bit further afield to the neighbours in Burundi.
Uganda, as in the past decade, hosted scores of refugees fleeing violence from neighboring countries. A report released by the UN says the number of refugees and asylum seekers in Uganda will reach more than 500,000 for the first time in the country's history, making it the third largest refugee hosting country in Africa and the 8th largest in the world.
We now expect that these trends will mean that 2015 is the highest year for global forced displacement on record, surpassing even the levels that we were seeing last year.
According to the UNHCR spokesperson Charles Axili, the insecurities and conflicts in countries like Burundi, Somalia and South Sudan are responsible for the higher number of refugees in Uganda. The report also indicates that 60% of the refugees and asylum seekers are children.
So, from the 500,000 refugees that are in Uganda, around 60% are children under the age of 18. It is a particularly young refugee population.
Charlie urges Ugandan's authority to regard the rise in refugee numbers as an opportunity as opposed to a curse.
Ugandans living in the host communities that are taking in the refugees, those living in areas such as Adjumani or in the southwest Nachi Valley, they'll be benefiting from the refugee humanitarian response, because it does take into account the impact on local communities. So it does factor into its financial appeals and its work. It sets aside money to improve the host community situation. So, for example, that can take the shape of local infrastructure developments.
The report recommends concerted efforts in stopping insecurity in these countries in order to reduce cases of forced displacement.
Not only Uganda, but the world is facing a moment of truth. Instability and conflicts are raging across the world. In sub-Saharan Africa, especially 5 of the top 10 largest refugee hosting countries in the world are to be found in sub-Saharan Africa. So there really needs to be some recognition that this is not a problem humanitarians can deal with alone. What's required here is political action. There needs to be acknowledgement of the situation.
The UN agency also cautioned Uganda to adequately prepare to deal with the deadly diseases like Ebola and cholera in refugee camps.
And refugees that are suffering from any diseases, whether that be malnutrition or a respiratory illness, they're of course referred for treatment and ensured that that's managed and contained in the appropriate way.
The report names Turkey, Pakistan, Lebanon, Jordan, Ethiopia, Kenya and Uganda as the 8 countries that received the highest number of refugees between 2014 and 2015. Ivan Chimuchigozi, NTV.